start a business or start something that we needed to help other who will let it over and work it off and do what we have to do. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the 7 years, if we don't have it, then the Most High will release. We will not be responsible for paying the brother back. Everybody understand that? All right. But like I said, in Esau's kingdom right now, they do that, but you need to check your credit again because he's crafty. You gonna say?
Is this a law we need to apply to homeland or something we can apply now in the manner of our captivity?
I mean, even right now, we in this. I was just talking about that. Even right now in this land, right now, some of us we have things on our credit. After 7 years, it's supposed to drop off. But like I told you, Esau is very crafty. You know what I mean? Sometimes he'll go and put it back on there, and he'll call you under a different phone number and get you to commit to certain obligations to it, and then you're gonna be responsible another 7 years. So as soon as you inquire about it, then you're gonna may have to pay that debt, right?
Is that something that we're supposed to apply when dealing with Israel or all of this?
You're gonna read it. I don't want to give it away.
The book of Deuteronomy 15:3.
Right.
Of a foreigner,
right,
thou mayest exact it again.
Right. So read.
But that which is thine with thy brother, thine hand shall release.
So that's the answer to your question right there. Right. The foreigner, we know that after 7 years, you still owe me that money. But when it's your brother, you was able to, say, this is the release when it comes to the 7th year. All right. Remember, we had a test on that. A lot of people got that question wrong. We was talking about the Jubilee, and everybody thought it was, Right, but everybody thought the Jubilee would mix it up with the 7 years. This is talking about the credit, what you have within your brother. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Save when there shall be no poor among you.
Right.
For the Most High shall greatly bless thee in the land, which the Most High that power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it.
Right, that's a good thing. I mean, you hear the Most High saying it's not going to be no poor among us. No poor. Can you imagine that? I mean, so you see how people on the street, they're begging 5 cents, they're on drugs, all kind of things that happen to us. But here in our kingdom, in Torah, that we're not going to be begging bread. The Most High said we should be begging bread anyway, according to Scripture. Right? Read on.
Verse 5. Only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day. For the Most High thy power blesseth thee as he promised thee. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow.
Right. You see that? Thou shalt lend unto many nations, and we should not borrow. But what? That's the curse that's put upon us now. Because now we had, stopped keeping the commandments. We went under Deuteronomy 20:15, and now we're receiving the curses. Because what's happening now? Who's doing the borrowing now? We are, right? All right, so let's get it real quick so we can show proof of all things. Give me Deuteronomy 28, and it should be 44 or 43.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 43.
Yeah, read 43, right.
The stranger,
right,
that is within thee, shall get up above thee very high.
Right, so this is a curse. The stranger has now got up above us, and he's got very high. It didn't say just high, it said very high.
Yeah.
Read.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Right, and we've come down very low. Read.
He shall lend to thee.
Right.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
Okay.
He shall be the head.
Right.
And thou shalt be the tail.
Right. This is the curse. Right. That the Most High put upon us because why? We decided not to keep the commandments. Right. Just like today, you go out and you buy and you purchase a home. Some of us, hey, so they sign the lease or the mortgage, and they're happy. You got a good rate, 6.75. This is really good. And you got a 30-year mortgage. Not even right, I think 50 and 70. Yeah, mortgage now. You gonna leave it to, if you ain't healthy, you gonna leave it to your sons or your daughters to pay it off. You know what I mean? But now when you look at these numbers that they're giving us, man, they lending us, but at a high rate. You think 6.75 is something cheap? It's not cheap. You know, you buy something for 100,000, you want to pay after 30 years over $200,000. So now we borrowing from them, and that's part of the curse, that we be subject to payments. You know, so I know a lot of us be like, of course, I'm not trying to discourage you not to buy a home. You know, I'm not saying that. You buy a house, that's your home. You can, you know, that's something that you can leave, you know, for your children. You know, that's a little inheritance. That's nothing like what the Most High had promised for us. You know, that's nothing but the promise of the Heavenly Father. We went over the promises last night. You know, so this is nothing. But right now in this captivity, you get yourself a house. It is a good thing because why? You can leave it. Something happens to you, leave it to your children. They can sell it. They can start their own business with it. It's a positive move. But what I'm telling you is that it's not supposed to be like that. We read that in the curse, Deuteronomy 28:44. That he's gonna lend to us now. We're gonna borrow from him. He's gonna be on top, very high. We're gonna be very low. So we are living these curses, man. Con? All right. Read on. I mean, we had a whole list of scriptures on lending, but you know that would take a long time. But go ahead.
Deuteronomy 15, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For the Most High thy power blesseth thee, as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee.
Right. See, that's a blessing. And we're going to be above all nations, right? We're going to lend to them, and what? We're not going to borrow anything from them. But they're going to need to come to us for knowledge, for everything, right? Read.
Verse 7. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren, within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Most High thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother.
Right. So you shouldn't shut your hand from your poor brother. Your brother need help. That's what we are there for. You know, that's what Psalms 133 is for. You know, showing brotherly love to one another. Right? You shouldn't shut your hand, meaning that you shouldn't hold back your money. Right? I know a lot of us, you know, in the world, a lot of times we don't want to lend to anybody. Like I said, there's a dozen scriptures on it, but a lot of times we lend to people and they don't want to give the money back, or they make an excuse, as the scriptures say. Right? They complain of hard times, right? It's in the Apocrypha. Read on.
Verse 8. But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him,
right,
and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need, and that which he wanteth.
Right. So you should lend what he needs, what's going to help him. Right? Read on.
Verse 9. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying,
right. Saying what?
The 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not.
Right. Don't think because it's the 7th year is coming now. Oh, no, I don't think I should lend to him now. You're not going to give me back that money. The 7th year coming around, that release. That's evil, man. The brother needs the money. He needs help in a situation to be better for his family. You got to help him out. Right? So how do we apply that today? So that's a question I want to ask. Lion Paul.
I had a friend ask me for help to pay his rent.
Okay.
And at the same time, I needed help paying my rent.
Well, I don't know if that applies to the situation right here. You know, I don't know if that applies to this verse right here. I mean, that's part of the curses. We are living a curse. That's a true testimony of the curse. Hallelujah. I don't know what to say behind that. Oh, good. Lion Paul, you got me with that one, man. But, you know, a lot of times, some of us, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
I just have a question kind of pertaining to that.
Right.
So, if I don't really have that much, and I'm also struggling myself, but I have more than the next person that needs help, am I supposed to give them
I mean, this is a position, the position that they're mentioning here is someone that's in a position to lend. If you're not in a position to lend, then you can't do it. You know what I mean? But if you're sitting on some bread, you got it under your pocket somewhere, you just got all the stacks of money, and you're watching your brother struggle, and he asks you for $20, you hungry, you want to get some lunch, put gas in his car, you saying, I ain't got it, because you got a plan to put a down payment on your house. I mean, you going off. I mean, you could lend $20 to your brother. Actually, you probably could give it to him. If you have it like that way, you could give it to him. And the brother say, just give it to him, and the brother say, I'll give you back the gun. Don't worry about it. You don't have to give it back to me. Give it back to me, as my brother tell me, in the kingdom. That's where we ought to be, man. It's brotherly love, sisterly love. We should not be tyrants over each other, especially when it comes to money, because money, the love of money is the root of all evil. Gun? And a lot of times it causes issue between family members and friends, big time. Because why? Somebody lend you the money, then you come up with all these excuses why you can't pay them back. Or you borrow too much, or you borrow for the wrong reason. This brother said, the guy asked him, can he help pay his rent? And he can't pay his own rent. So they're both in a bad situation. So, you just have to use wisdom. You have to use wisdom. You can't just go and give somebody something you don't have, even though you're fearful. But if you know somebody that has money like that to distribute, then talk to them. You can do that. Somebody got their hand up. Yakuza? Okay, all right. Like I said, I got a prophet calling me right now. But go ahead, read on, man.
Deuteronomy 15:9.
Right.
Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying,
right.
The 7th year, the year of release, is at hand.
Okay.
And thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not.
Right.
And he cry unto the Most High against thee, and it be sin unto thee.
Right. And it's going to be what unto you?
Sin unto thee.
Right. Because you sitting up there, you have the money to distribute to help the brother out. But you worrying about not getting your money back because the day of release is coming. That's evil. When you can help your brother out, you will get that money back. If you're a person that's always like somehow getting your hands on some bread, or you have tools or things working for you in the right way, then why are you worrying about that? If that's your brother, you ought to help him. Right? That's an evil thing. Read on. And hold on. In this kingdom, that's okay. You know what I mean? In this kingdom, I was in me and Shalimar, we went to Los Angeles, right? And when you drive down the block, we in Beverly Hills. And I mean, you actually turn a corner and it's Skid Row right there. You smell the place before you get there. You got the super rich, and then you got the super poor. Nobody's helping nobody. Right? So that's a terrible way, the way this kingdom is set up. That's a terrible way. And the Most High is going to deal with these people that are like that, including our own people. I don't care if you're LeBron James, Michael Jackson. I don't care who you are. The Most High is going to deal with you. He said, charge them that are rich to do what? To distribute, to give that money. You got to come off that bread. Parathi? I didn't hear you. LeBron James opened a school. Yeah, I was just using an example. I know LeBron James opened a school. I mean, I know LeBron James. I heard about it. I heard he opened a school. I mean, he's trying to put forth whatever works he can. Because they know at that level, they got that kind of money. They got to show something, to file taxes and things like that, Yeah. So they gotta do what they gotta do, man. I hope he help out some of those people. The hood got the best schools, man. Believe it or not, a lot of our people don't know that. In the hood, believe it or not, they got all the magnet schools, all that stuff going on there. You go to some of the worst neighborhoods, they have some of those things. But you don't want to see a lot of our people don't want to send the children in because they're worrying about the area, of course, and the children. So it's up and down. But the Most High said, charge them that are rich to do what? To distribute. And they're not. They're holding tight to their pockets. Read on.
Deuteronomy 15, verse 10. Thou shalt surely give him, and thy heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Most High thy power shall bless thee in all thy works and in all that thou puttest thine hand unto.
So even though you give him that bread or whatever he needs, right? The Most High is gonna bless you. You know, he's gonna bless you because you blessed your brother and helped him out. Right? Read on.
Verse 11. For the poor shall never cease out of the hand of the land.
Read that again.
For the poor shall never cease out of the land.
Right. So the poor should never seek out of our land. Read.
Therefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt open thy hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy land.
Right.
And if thy brother in Hebrew man,
right,
or in Hebrew woman,
hear that? Read.
Be sold unto thee,
okay,
and serve thee 6 years,
okay,
then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free.
Right. So now during this time also, some of our brothers and sisters, Hebrew brother, Hebrew sister, going through some tough times, we will go and hire them. I'm living well, I'm doing well in my estate, and now I'm gonna hire you and y'all gonna come work for me. I'm gonna pay you, you're gonna live well, we're gonna eat well. But when it comes to the 7th year, or come to the 6th year, going into the 7th, that's gonna be the time of release. You can go free if you like. But if you don't want to, then the scripture's gonna tell us what's gonna happen. Okay? We don't.
Verse 13.
Right?
And when thou sendest him out from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty.
Read that again.
And when thou sendest him out and when thou sendest him out free from thee,
okay,
thou shalt not let him go away empty.
Right. So if he's leaving on that 7th year, don't let him go empty. Don't say, all right, thanks, brother. I'll let you later. You know, what do he say? Give him. Read.
Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock.
Give him some flock, right? Read.
And out of thy floor.
Okay.
And out of thy winepress.
Oh yeah, you gotta hit him with the blends, man. You gotta hit him with the blends. You gotta let the brother go out blenless. That's all. All right. The brother's leaving. He get a fresh wine press. You know, the fresh off the shelf. Hey man, you just made this. Let me take care of you, I'm one. You leaving? Hey, you good to go. Give you some flock, some stock. You know, stack you up. That's showing love, right? Read.
Of that wherewith the Most High thy power hath blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him.
Right, so the Most High blessed you, so what? You blessed your brother, right?
And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Egypt.
Okay.
And the Most High thy power redeemed thee. Therefore I command thee this thing today.
Right, so we were bondmen in Egypt, right? The Most High got us out of there, right? Right, so we got to remember that. So a lot of our brothers came and work for us, you know. They ain't working and they getting paid, everything is good. If they want to go, we let them go. We don't.
16. And it shall be, if he say unto thee, I will go not, so I will not go away from thee,
right?
Because he loveth thee.
He love who?
Because he loveth thee.
Listen, that cat told me, hey, Marshall, I can't go. I love you, brother. I said, hey, man, let's ride this thing out. Wait.
And thine house.
Right?
Because he is well with thee.
Right, so he loved the house. He loved being around the family, you know. Read on.
Then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear.
What's an awl? What is that? What you got there? What you got? What is it? Awl. It's all right? Want to look it up?
It's like a large needle.
Like a large needle or something?
Like a gauge.
Like those gauges?
Yeah, like a working handle.
Right. So he said, we take an awl. We're going to do it. Why ain't looking it up? Read.
Then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door.
Right.
And he shall be thy servant forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So that brother gonna roll with you forever, man. Everything's gonna be good with him. Great.
And also unto thy maidservant,
okay,
thou shalt do likewise.
So the female also too, if she wanted to, stay after the 7 years, hey, listen. And listen, it wasn't just one person, man. These were families, man. Some of these people were, were a husband and wife who came with children and worked for that family in that house. But then after 7 years, they was able to be released. And they was like, well, you know what, man? Man, listen, we enjoy We enjoy staying here. This place is like home. Why would you want to pack up, leave, bring flock, your stock and everything, and go build another home, So you can stay in. It was comfortable there. So a lot of times they just say, you know what, we're gonna jam, man. We're gonna be with you for the rest of our lives, right? So that's a good thing, Con. Isn't that showing love, man? Karash, gonna make room for me, man. I'm coming over. Read on.
Verse 18. It shall not seem hard unto thee,
Okay,
when thou sendest him away free from thee.
right.
For he hath been worth a double hired servant to
Wow, wow. So that guy's worth a double higher servant. You don't want to let him go, man. That's something else, man. You don't want to let him go. Read that again.
thee. Verse 18.
Right,
It shall not seem hard unto thee, when
Right.
thou sendest him away free from thee.
right.
For he hath been worth a double hired servant to
Double
thee,
higher servant. Right, read.
and serving thee 6 years, and the Most High thy power shall bless thee in all that thou doest.
Right, he's a double servant, man. That's a wonderful thing. You won't want to, you probably be crying at Brother Levi to do it, man. Come back, Read.
Verse 19. All the firstling males
Okay.
that come of thy herd and of thy flock, thou shalt sanctify unto the Most High thy power.
Okay.
Thou shalt do no work with the firstling of thy bullock,
Okay.
nor shear the firstling of thy sheep.
Read.
Thou shalt eat it before the Most High thy power year by year, in the place which the Most High shall choose, thou and thy household.
Right, you should bring the first thing, everything that's first, bring it to the Most High. And you're going to eat it in a place where He said, where He chooses. Read on.
And if there be any blemish therein,
Any what?
blemish
Read.
therein, as if it be lame
Right,
or blind, or
right.
have any ill blemish,
Right, so you can't have no blemish with this thing, man. One time we went to go, Charlotte was there, we went to go get the lamb. We picked out like 3 lambs. And we almost was taking them to the back, And we saw one, and cat was limping. We were like, wait a minute now. It's just, we can't take this guy. We got to send him back. But he's so like, no, it's, guys that work there. No, it's good, Poppy, it's good. No, that's not good, man. The thing is limping. Something's wrong, So we don't know what was wrong with him, but we wound up trading him back. We got one that looked nice and healthy, right? Because the Most High don't want us to have the lame or the blind. We're supposed to give that to who? All right. I know not only Esau, but the strangers. I know mainly Esau, though. I feel you on that. You know how Israel is. Israel got a heart for Esau, man, because he's the ambassador. He's the head of all this wickedness, man. He's the chief. He's the top dog of all this wickedness, right? Read on.
thou shalt not sacrifice it unto the Most High thy power.
Right.
Thou shalt eat it within thy gates. The unclean and the clean person shall eat it alike,
Right.
as the roebuck and as the hart.
Right. That's going back to chapter 12. It's precept from chapter 12. Going into the same thing. Whether you be unclean, it's talking about you being unclean. Right? And being clean. Eating of the roebuck. Right? Read on.
Only thou shalt not eat the blood thereof.
Here we go with that blood. I'm not supposed to eat that blood, man. I don't know if anybody talking about blood pudding. It's good for you. That's all. Read.
Thou shalt pour it upon the crown
Right.
as water.
Okay.
Chapter 16.
Okay. Read.
Observe the month of Abib.
All right. One of my favorite months. ABIB. What's going on with that month? A bit. Let me get a Bible dictionary. You got yours? A bit. Everybody know what that is? Slacker. Okay. Everybody, what's a bit then? I ain't everybody saying con. First month of the year, con. All right, hallelujah. We keep it up, Israel. That's right. So it says, observe the month of Abib. And when does that land?
Late March, early April.
Right, late March, early April. We're going to read it real fast and we're going to move on. Right? Got it? When you get it, call it when you get it. All right, I have a calendar with the moon phases on it. And this year, our new moon landed on the 17th, right, of March. And then our Passover started on the 30th at evening, right, which is the 14th and 15th day of the month, which is actually what the elder was bringing out earlier. It was a full moon. when we walked out with Egypt, huh? Right. So in the middle of the month was a full moon when we walked out. So the fire was there by night, and the moon was full when we were walking out of Egypt. Right. This is more in 16. Read that. You got it? Okay.
All right. Definition of a bib.
Right.
Is on the written compact Bible dictionary.
Okay.
It says a bib, an ear of corn, the pre-exilic name for the first month of the year.
Right. First month of the year. Read.
After the exile, the name was changed to Nisan.
Okay.
It fell about the time of our March and early April.
Right. So about March and early April. That's what I just showed you. So. I'm sorry. The what? That's spring. That's when our flourishing. That's why our flowers come up. Everything start coming up. Right? In the air of corn. Okay. Anybody know why it's called the air of corn? Read that again.
A bib, an ear of corn. The pre-exilic name for the first month of the year.
Is that when you start harvesting the corn? Or when it starts sprouting?
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I was saying that's when the corn starts to sprout. During that time, during the spring. That's when everything has become new. Right? Right. So this corn is coming up. Right. All right. So a bit. Did you say what?
Was there corn in Israel and Egypt during that time?
Corn in Egypt? Well, we had all food in there. I think just about all the food was in there. Mainly, we were dealing with we had everything in there because before the famine came, we stacked up with all that with all the food. You know what I mean? When we walked into Egypt, right?
Like in America, so it was like they're saying it was a mystery that the Bible was talking about corn when corn was in existence at that time.
No.
That's like
That's Esau alive.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Yahusha was walking, and that's when he went through the corn on the Sabbath day and asked him, "Is it lawful, to pick the corn?" Yeah, 12:1, right? Matthew 12:1. He said, was it lawful for him to eat the corn on the Sabbath day, or pick it rather? You know what I'm saying? But he was hungry. He was hungry, so it's nothing wrong with eating it. He was picking something out of the field to eat. You know what I'm saying? He didn't buy it. He didn't purchase it. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, the Sabbath day is the feast day. Right. So this is a day we should be eating. So, again, it's just, Satan tempting the Mashiach.
They're trying to basically say that all of this was taking place in the Americas and not over in the eastern part of the world.
That's Esau trying to take the credit. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's everything. You know what I mean? He's Moses. He's Aaron. He's everything. But the devil. But the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's everything. You know what I mean? He tell you everything. He's been to the moon. He's been over here. All this stuff, man. All this stuff is Hollywood. You know what I mean? So we realize with the corn, right? That it meant in the Bible dictionary, right? The sprout of the corn in the springtime. Read on.
Deuteronomy 16:1.
Right?
Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover
Right?
unto the Most High thy power.
Right. And we kept the Passover. Read on.
For in the month of Abib, the Most High thy power brought thee forth out of Egypt by night.
Right. It was in the evening. It was night. Right? So it was dark. The moon was out. Right? And when that pillar of fire by night, right, followed. Read.
Thou shalt therefore sacrifice the Passover unto the Most High thy power of the flock and the herd, and the place which the Most High shall choose to place his name there. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it.
Mm-hmm.
7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith.
Say that again.
7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread.
Right. So it's mandatory that during the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, that we eat unleavened bread. We have to eat it every day. All right, come. All right, ready?
Even the bread of affliction.
Okay.
For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste.
Okay, were we walking slow? Right? Were we walking backwards? Were we singing? You know? We probably were singing. I ain't gonna doubt that. You know, we know Israel. We got the songs. I'm sure the trumpet and the horns were blowing. And we were getting out of there. But we was in haste. The scripture says we was in haste. We was in a rush. We didn't put no leaven in the bread. We didn't let the bread rise or anything. We just took that bread quick, boom. We grabbed, the lamb. We ate the bitter herb, the wine. Listen, let's go. Let's get the jewels. Let's get the gold. Let's get out of here. Remember, we was in captivity for 430 years. Now you're coming out. You want to stay and chill and have a couple of drinks and hang out with the Egyptians? I don't know what spirit that is, but I guarantee you, some of our people are going to do it. Here, read on.
That thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life.
Right, so all the days of our life, we're going to remember that bread of affliction, that bitter herb. Everybody remember the bitter herb last year at the Passover? Or this year, rather, in March? Right. So everybody remember that, man. That bitter herb, was it bitter enough? All right, because I'm going to start cutting those pieces a little bit bigger. Yeah, man, because I don't know. Y'all didn't sound too convinced that they was that bitter. That didn't sound too convinced. I said, was a bitter herb bitter? All right, because when I see that big chunk on your plate, don't look and be like, Marshall, what is this? You know what I mean? When you fight that thing, your nose is going to be clean, cleared out. Your eyes going to be tearing because this is bitter. This is the hard bondage that our ancestors went through, man. So we ought to remember that. Come on? All right, read on.
Verse 4. Okay. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coast 7 days.
Right, so we can't have no leavened bread around us in our coast for 7 days. Not in our house, not in the cupboard, not tucked away somewhere in your closet. Get rid of the leavened bread. Right?
Neither shall there be anything of the flesh which thou sacrificest the first day at even. Remain all night until the morning.
Right?
Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of thy gates, which the Most High thy power gives thee.
So the Most High have a place though to do the sacrifice for the Passover. Right? Some of us are blessed enough to travel over back to our homeland to sacrifice the Passover over there. But remember, when we read earlier, we went, if it was too far, we did it here. All right? Read on.
Verse 6. But at the place which the Most High thy power shall choose to place his name in, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt.
Right, so it's giving you clues, man. He said what? At the place which the Most High thy power shall choose. The place his name in. There thou shalt sacrifice the Passover in the evening, at the going down of the sun, and at the season. That's very important. Because I heard some brothers are keeping the Passover in the winter. So now, you're out of season. This can happen. So calculation. This can happen. So we got to keep it in the season where it's supposed to be. And remember that thou camest forth out of Egypt. Read on.
Verse 7. And thou shalt roast and eat it in the place which the Most High thy power shall choose, and thou shalt turn in the morning and go unto thy tents.
Okay, read.
6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread.
Okay.
And on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Most High thy power.
Right, so 6 days we eat the unleavened bread, but on the 7th day, what? We gather back together again. A solemn assembly. We cannot forsake that. Read.
Thou shalt do no work therein.
Right, there's no work be done. Read.
Verse 9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn.
Okay.
And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks.
Right, so now we're going into another holiday. What holiday is this? Feast of Weeks. What's another name for it? The who? Pentecost, right. This is a high holy day that we count what? The weeks, right? Just like when we go into the Passover, we started from the new moon, and then we counted 14 or 15 days from the new moon, and we got into the Passover. Now we got into the Feast of Weeks. Now we start counting the weeks. This is a weekly thing that the Most High set up for the Pentecost. Right? Then we're going to go back to the new moon when we come back. I mean, we'll still continue keeping the new moon, but we only start counting the new moon for the feast. Right? This is one of the feasts that starts with weeks. And they say a week starts right after we finish the Passover. Huh? Is it right after we're done with the Passover, we start to count from the sickle? Is it the last? The Sabbath after, right. The Sabbath after, that's when we start counting the week. 7 times 7 is what? 49, right? And on that 50th day will be the Pentecost. Count the days now. Huh? We count the days and the weeks. Right. So we're doing both, counting days and weeks. And we even have a prayer that we set up, right? And we go over for that. We'll be giving it, well, I think we gave it out. We gave it out already. Prayer. It's the Omer. Okay. So, Charlotte has the scriptures on that, on the Omer. When that day comes around again, then we'll read that for those days, for those 49 or 50 days. Supposed to send those prayers in. All right, hallelujah.
Verse 10. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Most High thy power with a tribute of a freewill offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Most High thy power, according as the Most High thy power hath blessed thee.
Right.
And thou shalt rejoice before the Most High thy power, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant and thy maidservant and the Levite that is within thy gates and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow that are among you, and the place which the Most High thy power hath chosen to place his name there.
Right. So the Most High leave out nobody. Manservant, maidservant, the widow, strangers, fatherless. Read on.
And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and thou shalt observe and do these statutes. Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles.
Observe the Feast of who?
Tabernacles.
All right. So now we're coming up on the Tabernacles. So where we going to be at the Tabernacles? In the park. We're going to be dwelling in tents. We're not going to be in our air-conditioned homes. Well, we might have a little air conditioning out there, but... Let me know what's going on, Fox. Just let me know. But we're going to be out there. We're going to have our fans, and we're going to be in the tent. We're going to be dwelling in the tent. That's the Most High prescribed for us. The Most High is the doctor. He gives us a prescription. We need to take it. If we don't take it, we keep getting sick. Huh? It's just like that. Read on.
Thou shalt observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine.
Right.
And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant.
So during this time, he said you've gathered in the corn and the wine. So at this time, we're in the fall now. So now it's time to pluck all that stuff. Reap all that stuff out. You know what I mean? The ingathering. Okay, I heard that. Right. So this is the time that we need to do that at this time when we had this livestock and when we had this fields and things like that. I know a lot of us, we stay in an apartment. Some of us have a house and we haven't planted anything outside, So, but during this time, this is what we did. Right?
And thy maidservant,
okay,
and the Levites.
Well, Levi's been mentioned a whole lot. Levi is getting theirs, man. Hey, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I hear you back there. Come. That's right. Don't forget the Levites. The Most High just keeps saying that. Don't forget the Levites. You gotta make sure they're good. Right?
And the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gates. 15. 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Most High thy power in the place which the Most High shall choose. Because the Most High thy power shall bless thee in all thine increase, And in all the works of thy hands, therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
So the Most High said that is 7 days, right? In the tabernacles. It's going to be 7 days of feast. I don't see how a Negro in 2018 want to celebrate Christmas one stinking day with that dumb tree. We're going to barbecue and drink every day of the week during the tabernacles. God? I don't know about you, but if you're going to be in your comfort of your home, you go right ahead. But I'm going to be out there in the tent, and I'm going to be enjoying myself with the nation of Israel. God? All right? It's a feast day. We're supposed to be having fun, eating, drinking, dwelling in brotherhood, sisterhood. This is what this tabernacle is all about, man. That we put away that old man. We're not dealing with Easter. We're not dealing with Christmas. We're not dealing with none of that stuff, man. We're dealing with the Most High, with Torah. Okay? All right. I'm going to see y'all out there. I'm looking. I see y'all faces, man. Read on.
Verse 16.
Okay.
3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Most High thy power in the place which he shall choose.
Right.
In the feast of unleavened bread.
Right. We just read that. The feast of unleavened bread, the Passover. Read.
And in the feast of weeks.
Feast of weeks, the Pentecost.
And in the feast of tabernacles.
Right.
And they shall not appear before the Most High empty.
Right. And it says all male. Why does it say all male? What about the females? Because who? Right, it could be unclean. Very good. So all the males is gotta be there. Hey, the male could be unclean too. Right? I see some of maybe my brothers not here. Maybe those brothers are unclean. I don't know. No? Okay. I mean, David was unclean. He turned and looked at David, see him at the new moon, and he see him there. He said he got to be unclean. Right? All right. Read on.
Verse 17.
Okay.
Every man shall give as he is able.
Okay.
According to the blessing of the Most High thy power, which he hath given thee.
Right. So as the Most High bless you, you got to bless, the people. Blessing the service. Okay. That's what you want to bring to the Feast of Tabernacles. Bring your blessing, man. If you're not going to make it out there, maybe this is not your year, you just started out, bless the cause, man. Come out there and distribute. Give generously. I'm going to tell you like the church tell you, man. Give generously. Because the church system, when they used to go around pass that pot, they said, all right, I'm passing the pot around. All right, I only want hundreds. I was in there. I saw them do it, man. I only want $100 bills. And I only want the crisp ones. I don't want that wrinkled up old $100 bill. I want the brand new ones. And the people and them women be digging deep in that. You said, dig deep. And they be digging deep in that purse. And they pull it out. And the husband be looking. Man, I didn't know she had $100. I just asked her for 20 yesterday. I just asked for 20 yesterday. Pastor Johnson, he had 400. I got to give it to him. Right? So they're giving up that money. Yeah. So just like we out there in the tabernacles, or we out for these Pentecost, right? And something happened, you can't make it, you got to distribute, man. You're not here, but we still doing it. Right? It still needs to be done. So if you can help, as the Most High bless you, I'm not saying don't pay your rent and give us $900. Why? Because next month we have to give you $1,800. That don't make no sense, right? You gotta give us $900, we'll give you back 18 because we gotta give you back last month and a new month. You're gonna be in trouble. So we're not asking you, right? You hear that, right? All right, Lion Paul. Right. So we're not asking you to do that, but give as the Most High bless you. Every little bit helps, man. Believe it or not. And with that, we finished the portion. Hallelujah, y'all get the Most High hand. There's a lot of information, it's a lot of information. We do have, this evening, sundown, we're going to be keeping the new moon at 8 o'clock. Okay. Any announcements? Any announcements?
Shemai, the new moon, we're going to start the new moon a bit later than usual, so it gives our people opportunity to get their food and stuff together. We had initially said we were going to start at 7, but we're going to push it back to 8. which allows, give you time to get your things together, so you're not dining in Shabbat, cooking and things in the Shabbat. So we're gonna start about 8. Probably blow the horn at 8:30. We'll get the service started. Give you an opportunity to get here and so we can go on with the service. All right. So nobody feel rushed and feel like they gotta um, break the Sabbath to go ahead and start cooking the food on the Shabbat. So wait for the Shabbat to close out. I think the Shabbat closes about 7:30. Shabbat is over, so by that time you can prepare what you need to prepare and then come afterwards. Come? All right. So like I said, a very important portion went through today. It covered some very important points that we have to be nailed down in our spirituality and serving the Most High correctly. The dietary law, the laws concerning tights. I know tights was mentioned, but we didn't mention that tights is 10%. That's what tights are according to Scripture. Okay, so those tights are also important in how we distribute it. Always be able to bring, whenever there's a service, a feast day of any sort, there's an obligation that we bring something. When I say we, all of us, including us up here, we all got to bring. Right? How the Most High bless you, that's how you bring. Some more, some less, it is what it is. How the Most High bless you. All right, so let's keep that in mind. The brothers are in Detroit right now. The summit is commencing this weekend. They're out there right now. We see some brothers that are not here. Peace Kahan is out there. Yakanan, Sheriff Shimon, Shamanayah, and Adar is out there. So, we always support the Mashallah Yasharala, as an entity in camp. I believe I put out a Cash App phone number on the WhatsApp, right? That if you wish to support the brothers out there keeping the summit, you can send something, whether it's $5, $3, $10, whatever you want to send, you can send. It's on the WhatsApp. All right, there is a Cash App. Brother name is what was it? Yamaria, all right? Yamaria, all right? The brother name is Yamaria. That's collecting the monies as they're having the feast. I understand they can use some monetary donations out there. So if you can send, okay? But it's on the WhatsApp. I'll resend it just so it's fresh. For those of us that's on the WhatsApp, we can see it. For the line on WhatsApp.
You got it on the
support the brothers, huh?
LOZ, Soldiers of WhatsApp.
Huh?
You put it on the line.
It's on the line WhatsApp. Yeah. You see it right? Yeah. His contact is there. He's a treasurer out there for the Swords of what's the Swords of Israel? Even camp out there? The Swords of Wisdom. Swords of Wisdom, right? The camp out there? The Swords of Wisdom. All right, so them brothers is out there, they hosting it, and so it'll be a beautiful thing in Detroit, Michigan. All right, so I don't think there's any other announcements. As you know, as again, we're going to keep repeating this up until the date. September 22nd begins the Feast of Tabernacles. So let's make sure we're in attendance and we got our things rented, right? Will the service be where? Oh, the opening service will be at the park. Right? Yeah.
Well, yeah. What we're gonna do? We're gonna have a selective crew that's gonna go out that day and set up out there right before we finish the Sabbath. Okay, and set up the camp space so that way when it come time for us to go and we unpack and get everything unpacked, we could just go right into the service. Right. Because remember, this service. Yeah.
It'll probably be tentative, but I don't think we have it in the cover. So if it's not raining.
If it's not raining, okay.
If it's not raining, we'll have it out there. Okay. If it's raining, we'll have it here. Okay? Friday and Saturday, how much? 50?
It's 35 if you do the days separate. Friday and Saturday.
Oh, okay, good. All right, good to know. All right, so they have a package deal in Quiet Waters Park. And the brother just let me know. If you rent both days in one shot, then they're going to give it to you for $50 both days. All right, so that's at $25 a day. But if you rent one day at a time, it's going to get you $35. So it's going to cost you $20 more for the same amount of time. So let's be mindful. All right, what else you got?
I think one of the brothers mentioned they may want to stay with another brother. You know, if you have your own tent, you're by yourself, you know, it's possible if you could move over, let another brother in and share the tent for a couple of days. I was told that they will help out, you know, as far as finances, you know, towards the tent.
Right. We'll work that out. What else we got?
And oh yeah, vice versa for the sisters. Anybody's sister, nobody so.
Right. Sister got your own tent. Somebody wants to come in. Make sure.
We gotta check in before 5:30 on Saturday.
On Saturday?
We gotta check in on Saturday, remember, because they close.
Right. The office closes.
The office closes
Right.
at 5:30.
Right. So let that word be known. On Saturday, we need those of us that's staying that first night, Saturday night in the park, make sure you check in. So what we'll do, we'll shut it down earlier here, so it gives everybody an opportunity to do that, you know, check in over there. All right, check it as a required money, just gotta make sure that they know you got there. That's you already paid?
You need to pay your deposit.
On the deposit, $50.
Oh, it
Require
does?
money.
Oh, okay. Fine, so we
I think
got
it's
it.
On the card, no cash.
Yeah, on the card, no cash. That is correct.
On the card, no cash.
Right. You gotta pay the $50 deposit.
Be educated. All right, so $50 check-in on the card, no cash. All right, before 5:30. So, what's happening?
And week after week, we're gonna keep reminding you so that way you don't forget, you know, because it's very important. You know, we want to make sure everybody, you know, who pay for their tent, make sure they get to their tent and make sure they're able to have time to set up. So this thing gonna take some time. All right. I guess that's it. Don't forget we got that crazy looking box in the back. You know, feed the box as always. You know, give generously. You know, this place is open, like I said, always by your donations. Right, Gun?
Done.
All right. Nobody's giving us a check or anything like that. So, with that being said, you got a question now?
Yeah, remember we were speaking about the burners, do we got that secured under control?
I see the burners in the back. I saw some in the back.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I saw a box back there. And oh yeah, before we send them on, I think brother, is it D? Sorry, Hebrew name. What's Hebrew name again? That died, right. He took care of us with the to-go trays and plates and forks and spoons, you know, all praise to the Most High, you know. Yeah, the Most High hand. I mean, it's coming out our ears right now, and that's the way I like it. Hallelujah, you know. All praises, man. We have enough. All right. All right, Madiam Wapanya Hakodam, rise and face the east. Hallelujah!
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 Hallelujah! Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh's the power.
Bahashem?
Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem?
Yahweh Shai.
What we gonna do?
Save the kingdom.
What we gonna do?
Save the kingdom.
How?
Hashem Hashem Yahweh Shai.
How?
Hashem Hashem Yahweh Shai.
How?
Hashem Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hallelujah!
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 Come Yasharala!
Come Yasharala.
Come Yasharala!
Come Yasharala.
Come Yasharala!
Come Yasharala.
Rise Israel! Rise Israel! Rise Israel! Hallelujah. Yeah, all praise be to the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because truly his mercy endure forever. We thank you, Abba Yahweh, for blessing us with this Shabbat day in peace. We thank you for opening up the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of your word today. We've learned a lot today, Abba Yahweh. Please forgive us always for our transgression. Please send our righteous angels to encamp around us at all times, because we know that Satan is seeking who he may devour, knowing that he only has a short time left. Please send a spirit of healing, Abba Yahweh. I know a lot of our members are not feeling well. Send a spirit of healing that they may have a speedy recovery, Abba Yahweh. And our members that are not here, that are sick, please bring them back whole, Abba Yahweh. Please forgive us all for our transgression. And please come deliver us, redeem us out of this captivity. Because Satan seeking who he may devour, knowing that he only have a short time left. We want to get out of here now. I thought. All these things we ask and praise in his name, Yahweh, Bahashem, HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai, the Warat and Yad, Amen. With the Most High hand. All right, all praises. Barakatah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Anah, Yahweh, Hashabah, Hashalom, Amen. Barakatah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Anah, Yahweh, Hashabah, Hashalom, Amen. Barakatah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Anah, Yahweh, Hashabah, Hashalom, Amen. Barakatah, Yahweh, Shalom, we have to sing that one. Yahweh, Shalom, real. The house I real to be. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah. It gives me a victory. Many people doubt it, but I can't live without it. That is why I love him so. Y'all stop real to me. So feel us. Real. Y'all stop real to me. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah. It gives me the victory. Many people doubt it, but I can't live without it. That is why I love it so. Your house got real to me. Hallelujah. Oh, yeah. Gives me the victory. Many people doubt it, but I can't live without it. That is why I love it so. That is why I love it so. Abraham, Isaac, 3, Jacob, 4, brothers, wisdom, 5, reality, 6, nationality, 6. We'll be here next week. Have love. All praise be to the Lord God. All praise be to the Father, Abraham, the Father, Isaac, and the Father, Jacob. Come on, praise be to the Lord. Hold on, everyone. When I get to heaven, people